I don't need to. I don't need to. Well, you got this going. We know what we're doing. Yeah, we do. Live and alive from cities, Ben's World, and Sturridge and Weybridge, United Kingdom. I don't know any other conference. Hi, I'm Michael Trusser. I am a senior full-time Java and one of your conference TV hosts. This is my good friend. I wanted to be involved in the office skills. Yeah, I'm really nervous now. We're going to try and bring you a bunch of sponsors and some speakers, a bunch of executives, and just going to be trying to make maybe by the end, maybe we could find this cool. Yeah, we figured to find this cool. You know what would be cool? Remember to turn on the lights. The lights, yes. So you not turn on the lights. It's a professional studio. And we must remember the golden rule not to walk in front of cameras. Don't walk in front of cameras and turn on your lights. And also make sure that when you look at each other, it's like you're looking at each other on the screen rather than sideways. Walk in front of all the cameras. You're right. What we're going to try and do today is break every rule and stop your video stream. Join us on the couch. There we go.
Thanks, Stephen.
Hi, Chris.
Nice to meet you.
I see you got dressed up for us.
Indeed.
That was one practice. Did you do that in front of the mirror?
Always. So
I always think that gaming are kind of the cool boys in this world at the moment. You know?
we're definitely a disruptor. I think that's kind of key at the moment. Obviously, if we look at our portfolio in terms of Microsoft Teams solutions, both Windows and Android, I think we can offer our integrators and our end users a lot of choice and a lot of features and functionality and innovation.
Cool. And have you been in sales a lot?
So I've worked for Yealink. This is my 7th month in with Yealink. New into the post, should I say relatively new into the post, but been within the AV and Unified Comms arena for the last 19 years. So yeah, a reseller for distribution and now vendor. So it's
all the keywords in the first 5 minutes.
down. But you know, did the company itself, the ethos, or the workplace?
So obviously from my side, previous colleague, I worked within distribution, and I was selling Yealink from a kind of a generation distribution perspective, and I kind of fell in love with the product then. And the role that I'm doing at the moment was very fortuitous. The role didn't exist. And reality is, obviously, it was a case of me speaking to Gavin, who is unfortunately no longer with us now. Obviously, he's moved on to pastures new. But obviously, mentioned that there was potentially an opportunity, and having had a great experience in positioning Yealink and selling Yealink, and as you said, guys, their kit is so cool. It's innovative. It's, as I said, they're not standing still, and I think that's why this industry is so exciting, right? It's ever evolving, it's ever changing, and there's something new upon the horizon, right? So
there may be other new products, but the last thing that comes to mind from Infocom was your two giant meeting boards, but connected. So
yeah.
You're trying to have you have a single standalone, and then you can connect them and basically have a dual monitor board.
Correct, yeah. So obviously we're really seeing quite a lot of interest in the meeting board, and I think with the dual board solution now, that's going to be a real game changer, especially for your kind of video on one, and then your content sharing and your collaboration. So what we're trying to do is, as I said, deliver some real classic innovation into the marketplace, and for those larger spaces where people are not necessarily kind of tied into a meeting room. They might be using their canteen. They might be using a workspace for any kind of type activity, any type environment. So video is an enabler. Let's be honest. We all know that. It's a case of how do we kind of deliver a great experience through our technology, and I think that's key.
I think it's important that the tactical stuff gets covered. So like the A10 bars, you say like the boards and screens. But where's it going to go in the future? That's one of the questions that I'm looking to try and get some answers on in the next few days on CommsverseTV. I think finding the way that you can be interactive within the room, you can actually have that as simple as a whiteboard. I mean, nobody can do whiteboarding, but to pick up a pen and start, and then also make sure that people can get involved in that. And I think that's one of the areas that the industry has to kind of move into next. I think COVID and the pandemic and all that drove us into better face-to-face communication. With interaction, innovation, whilst on the call, something I've not quite seen yet, but I think something we can look at a bit, Michael, as we move forward and see where it comes out. Yeah. But yeah, that board was pretty impressive on the show again. It's getting there. All alien to us one way or another.
Well, I think obviously off the back of Microsoft being the pioneer with the Surface Hub, right? It's, as I said, we've seen this gradual evolution in terms of obviously technology, and now more and more OEM partners are obviously a part of that Microsoft ecosystem, right? So it's a case of how do we kind of deliver, as I said, value to the end user? How do we simplify the life for the end user? How do we make them more agile? How do we make them more flexible?
How do we remove that wonderful statement? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
You're on mute. Yeah.
And they start with a pen. Can you see the pen?
Yeah.
Can you see what?
So can you give us a summary of why Yealink? Why are you guys so interesting? Sell Yealink.
So I think Yealink. So I think Yealink obviously.
Talk about new products.
So Yealink, innovative, scalable solutions that are easy to use, easy to deploy, easy to manage, safe and secure. We have the widest portfolio of Microsoft Teams room devices on the market, from your meeting board to your MTR, both Windows and Android, your video bars, our new DeskVision A24 for your hot desking environments now with the QR scan, really impressive feature now within Microsoft. And I think, as I said, we're ever changing, we're ever evolving. Reality is we're not standing still. We're looking to raise the bar. And I think from a price versus performance perspective, you'll be very hard pushed to see a brand that is keeping pace with us. So.
Very well said. Well, thank you very much, Chris.
Stephen, thank you very much. Michael,
thank you. Good
nice to meet you both.
You have fun?
Yes, very good.
Excellent.
Thank you very much for having me on the sofa. And yeah, all the best with the next guest. Thank you. Cheers, guys. Take care. Thanks very much.
That's all right. They're expensive, but thanks.
There you go. Thanks.
Wow. All right, I did that. that currently is the #1 sales guy we've had on so far. talk about the basic office features, then production apps. Where you produce your solutions, your words and PowerPoint, usually for someone else or for and your Microsoft 365, it's called them functional apps. So where we're sharing it, we're actually starting to have real collaboration tools rather than email, which was the only collaboration tool we had. Your favorite application? I know that.
The best thing about email is that it's dying slowly. Slowly, like fax machines.
There's still a trillion or something emails created a month or something. But then we've got the Beaver apps, and the Beaver apps are culture apps. What they're trying to do is they're trying to change people within the organisation. Really difficult, A, to roll out in Russia, and B, to do it. So the Beaver Explorers are all about trying to help people identify how those Beaver apps can culturally change the organisation.
And the Viva apps are the things that they'll block time on your Outlook.
Yep.
They'll give you some Zen moments, little videos you can watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it also, some of the new stuff is released this week where you'll be able to give your feeling in real time. There's a lot of learning stuff. But what is quite interesting is that like Beaver Sales, which is the first roles-based app, is where you try and add empathy and human interaction into a business process, in which case it's sales using Salesforce but actually being able to
Sorry?
Feature badge.
Yeah, of course. No worries. There we are.
There you go. Reese from Yamaha in a minute. Any other Viva things you want to talk about?
There's lots we can talk about in these things. You know how many apps there are in Viva?
5.
No, I think we're up to about 11 now. One way or another, we're up to 11 Viva
You know
apps.
how many time zones are in the Soviet Union?
6.
11.
So there's as many time zones in the Soviet Union as there are Viva apps. That's not bad, really.
Yeah, too bad there's no Soviet. Well, not too bad.
No, I
There's
guess.
no Soviet Union anymore, so.
So does that mean that the time zones disappear and don't exist anymore? Alrighty, so we're getting ready for our next guest. He sent in a whole bunch of questions that we haven't really looked at, so I hope he's all ready to improvise.
That's fine. That's fine.
And
We have Reese from Yamaha.
Hi.
Your badge back.
Oh, thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you.
That's so that if anybody forgets your name, they can now see it at the bottom of the.
Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
Following Mark, we're all good to go. Excellent. That's good news. So Reese, welcome. Reese Stead.
That's it. That's it. Spot on. Yeah.
So
Thank you very
tell us
much.
about Reese. What do you do?
So I am the business development manager for audio within the UK as it stands with Yamaha. So that's everything that we do at the moment, from live mixing consoles all the way through to unified communications and business solutions as well.
We deal with
So
everything.
everything at the moment, that's right. That is going to change very soon. We're recruiting a couple of new people. So if there's anyone good out there, feel free to get in touch. But yeah, we're recruiting a couple of new people at the moment to kind of split those areas out, because there's a focus on business solutions being a key growth area for Yamaha coming up soon.
You're quite new in the market around Teams and meeting rooms.
Very, very new, very new. So I say we're very new. To be honest, Yamaha has been in it since 2006. So
You
in
know that.
It may not have been a Teams.
yeah, not so much.
Until about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, so basically, we've been making speakerphones since 2006 in Japan.
Okay.
And we've held the best speakerphone manufacturer out there from then through to date. The thing is that we never really brought that market outside of Japan previously. So we wanted to make it a global focus. And to make that kind of global initiative, we purchased Revo Labs in 2014. So we spent a lot of time kind of redeveloping that, looking at how we bring it to market, what the good things are, what the bad things are, and how we really make a kind of really good product.
So how long did that take? That's what I'm interested
Well,
in.
that
So
was-
you see a product and you say, hey, we think we can use this and this, and it
Yeah.
fit nicely in here.
Yeah.
But in the old days, it would often take 18 months, 2 years.
Yeah.
And that's
So
kind of a long time today.
So the thing is, as well, you've got to remember that Yamaha being such a large entity, and to be honest, and Japanese, and having a big focus on quality, things do take a long time. And that's because we'd rather, to be honest, we'd rather not be first to market. We'd rather make sure that when we did come to market, we had the right product.
Yeah.
So we purchased them in 2014. We didn't merge Revo Labs with Yamaha until 2019. So that was a good kind of 5-year period. And even then,
took us a couple of years more to actually release what we now call the Odessia system. So the Odessia system is, I know, there we go. It does sound like it should be.
Yeah.
It's just like a star, like in Star Trek. We're going to go to the Odessia system.
Yes.
Do you know what? I need to talk with that. I really like that. I really like that. But
now when we see that advert on the back of the magazine, go to the Odessia system.
That's-
We need to have our names on the bottom.
do you know what? I really like that. Yeah, come to the Odessia system at CommsverseTV. No, so basically it's it's a whole host of products. We started with like a ceiling microphone array, which came with a DSP and speakers and blah blah blah. And we've slowly introduced wireless microphone technology, wired tabletop microphone technology, and bits like that as well. So it's still an early development part of the business for us, but it's been going on for years, so it's taken us a little while. So.
Have you ever used any?
No, because they're my Microsoft days. They never send me any gear. I never asked. So.
Oh, that's true. You should send us some gear. We'll use your Yamaha stuff.
More than happy. More than happy to.
So,
More than happy.
I know Yamaha initially for the music side.
Yep.
Keyboards and whatever. So is this kind of like a German competitor in the music industry and you're just growing into now, taking all that knowledge of audio that you built and applying it towards different scenarios like conference rooms?
So to be honest, as I say, we've been in this market for years in Japan anyway, and actually things like network switches, for example, with the crossover of AV and IT that we're seeing, we're the biggest network switch supplier in Japan, but a lot of people don't know that we make network switches because we never really brought it to the rest of the world. Exactly that. So
I know you did audio switching, and I know you did video switching.
Yeah. So it's a relatively new area for us, as I say. Now, in terms of sorry, I've completely lost track of my thought there. What was the question? Sorry.
So we were talking about Logitech and where you fit in.
Your growth from music.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. So basically, in 2019, we built a new innovation center in Japan, in Hamamatsu, which is where our HQ is, and that brought all of our R&D teams under one roof. Obviously, they then all left that roof because of COVID, but they're all back under it now. But yeah, it basically means that there's a lot more cross-collaboration now in Japan between different departments. So we're talking about technology.
Very un-Japanese.
Yeah, well, we're talking about as well, because normally we have worked in silos previously. And we're talking about collaboration between like silent piano microphone technology, for example, and learning from that to bring some of that technology into sensitivity of microphones for conferencing systems. So we've got so much in terms of audio legacy. I mean, it's 138 years now we've been going, but so much in terms of audio legacy that we've brought into these product lines and we're bringing into this area that, although we're a newcomer from a kind of IT-based perspective, from an audio-based perspective, we're actually probably one of the premium kind of brands out there as it stands. So,
Do you want to hear my favourite Yamaha story?
Go for it.
Okay, so my favourite Yamaha story. So I have a background in sound engineering. So I've used like Yamaha desks 20 years ago and beyond. You heard of Jules Holland?
Yep. Oh, that guy, that little guy, yeah.
I'm going to see Jules next 2 weeks' time or whatever.
Yep.
But I was doing sound work for Jules
a
few years ago, and we hired in a Yamaha baby electric grand piano.
Yep.
You know, the famous one, all the.
Yep.
I mean, it came out the box. It got shipped up to Nottingham from London, and they tried to play it, and the fucking keys wouldn't work. It just was completely stuck.
Oh no!
So they did everything to work it out, and they couldn't get this thing to do. And then the engineering mind came in. I'm going, but the keys look normal, so maybe they just slightly shifted. So when nobody was looking, I kind of gave the piano a kick on the side, all right, and all the keys went, and then it was all kind of working.
You working away? Wow!
I saved the gig because there was only two instruments on stage: a drum kit and that piano.
That's amazing.
That
well done.
So
well done you.
Story.
Well done you.
I must talk to Jules and say, do you remember that night?
So, tell us on Yamaha. Give us 30 seconds of the Yamaha story.
Of course. So basically, as I said earlier, we've got a kind of real key audio background. Yamaha actually is a music brand at heart. So the first product we ever built was reed organs, and we've kind of grown from there, you see. So we've always been a music brand at heart, and that is the key thing that Yamaha likes to bring forward in everything that we do. It's all about kind of integrity towards that kind of musical background that we've got. And it's caused us to learn a lot as we go and to create and develop and innovate a lot as we go as well. So when it comes to product like this, what I was saying earlier about, obviously taking time to bring things to market, because we want to make sure they're right and they work and they hit. To be honest, we have ridiculously high quality standards, which means that when stuff goes out, it doesn't come back. It's as simple as that, really. And
I use Yamaha
was as an engineer, you know, you would have come across the LS9s, for example. A lot of people say when a nuclear apocalypse happens, there's going to be LS9s and cockroaches left, and that's it. So yeah, I mean, really, it's longevity, and it's knowing that you've got people who really are passionate and care about that kind of audio quality behind the actual product as well. So
you're a bit like the Mercedes of the cold war.
Very well transitioned. I like that. Yeah, that's it. In fact, cars, to be honest, is one of the only things we don't build at the moment, I think. Although we do make the interior of Lexus cars.
I was going to say
but yeah.
So what are you bringing here to the show? So you're Commsverse here for
that's it.
days.
Yep, that's it. So we've got our Adesia system with us. So that's everything from the ceiling microphone. It's a self-contained system. So it's everything from ceiling microphone to network switches, PoE plus speakers through to tabletop and wireless microphones and digital signal processors as well. So we can talk you through the ecosystem, how the whole thing works together. But we've also got some newcomers, which is the CS800 and CS500 from our USB range.
Okay,
so
just numbers.
Yeah, exactly, that's it. So what they are is video soundbars. So basically they are all-in-one conferencing solution systems. And they are, one of them is an all-in-one, so it's everything from input to output. The other is everything from input to camera, but there's no output on it. It's a budget / space saver is the idea behind it. But there's some kind of proprietary... With the Yamaha quality, that's it. There's proprietary Yamaha technology in these. So you've got things like human voice activity detection, something we call SoundCap I. These are all things that if you come to Commsverse, we can kind of explain in a bit more detail. But the idea is basically that it gives you a heightened audio quality over anything that you would have experienced in a small to medium-sized space before. So, yeah. So that's kind of what we're focusing on. There's two sides to our business, you see. There's installed systems, which is that Adesia stuff. That's it. So your ceiling mics and etc. And then there's the USB plug and play. The thing is that actually it's all pretty USB plug and play, because even with the installed systems, you just plug in and it works straight away anyway. Yeah. But the idea is it's between small to medium-sized rooms, which are maybe movable systems, through to installed systems as well, you see. So, yeah.
That's brilliant. I enjoyed that. All right. Well, thank you very much
for
joining CommsverseTV.
No problem. Thanks, Steve.
Here.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Report to those boxes of equipment and samples coming forward. No. Only joking. But no, that'd be cool.
Lovely.
Right,
great. Thanks, Steve. Cheers. Thanks, everybody.
Cheers. Take that well remembered. We normally chase people after these because they forget them.
Thank you, Steve.
You're welcome.
That. Have a good one.
So there we go. Yamaha on CommsverseTV. We just make sure the microphone goes back on charge and away we go. Here we've got more boxes coming in. Keynote speeches going on. There's a few presentations happening at the moment.
Hey, if you can message, tell us if we sound better. Should sound different. Let me, hold on. Put these away.
Should sound different.
All right, maybe no echo now.
Oh, is that what feedback we were getting?
Yeah, I passed Mark Vale, and he said there was feedback of duplicate audio and things. So I may put these in the wrong.
That's fine. Our quality control. Oh yeah, which box do they go in? They need a little. All right, look, we're going to come back in a few minutes. So this is CommsverseTV, the most unprofessional streaming TV channel going, but we're the most fun. Bringing you the sponsors from the event. So we'll catch up with you in a couple of minutes.
Yes, actually, we should have an MVP coming up. But again, please put in the comments if the audio sounds better. And we'll be back here in a moment.
All right, we have Silver from Kermi Software. Is it?
Yeah, that's
Because I'm just going to ask to make sure you speak up a little bit, and otherwise people may not catch you. But if not, we'll take it from there. And we did this very professionally. We came up with a whole bunch of questions to ask.
Yes, we did. He's got them written down.
He has them written down on a beautiful blackboard. I really like this on it. But he has all his questions here on the blackboard, all written down. So let's take our first one, which is obviously the key one. So, what can you tell me about Kermi? Do you need the answers, or can you do it off by heart?
Well, Purely is a leader software provider of automation provision, right, for collaboration tools like Microsoft Teams. So basically, imagine a world where large and medium businesses can effectively handle Microsoft Teams phone systems, collaboration tools very effectively, right? Without complexities and headaches.
Without complexity. That's a software house that has just said they could do things without complexity. Yeah, we'll see. We'll dig down on that a little bit later on.
So Pyramid is basically the all-in-one solution that optimizes and simplifies all the unified communication system.
All right. So and your role in Pyramid
And
is
my role is I'm a global ecosystem and alliance manager.
a global
Ecosystem.
ecosystem
Alliance manager.
alliance manager.
Alliance.
Oh, okay. So not technical.
Not really technical.
So, technical they can be. So if you really have simplified them, then maybe we need to have a conversation a little bit later on. But so how did you approach this in terms of what you were trying to? So what was the big thing that you fixed for people when you try to simplify this?
Yeah.
Because we are just to finish off, so again, we talk about the end-to-end processes here. New person coming in to a person leaving the organisation and management of their account in between.
Yeah, and specifically, in our latest release, what we're trying to achieve is to really simplify the license management process for Microsoft. So, and
What is it? Sorry, is it just Teams or is it all licensing around the Microsoft platform?
so all Microsoft platforms, but we specifically, what we try to achieve is once, let's say, like CFP Teams wants to configure Teams services for users. So quite often, it turns out that they have the configuration or they're struggling with applying the right licenses for the right users. As you know, Microsoft, they have a wide range of licenses and a wide way to assign them, right? So sometimes it's siloed by teams, and what we can provide is a social hub, that will allow teams to manage and view the Microsoft licenses while keeping the security tight.
Okay, that makes some sense. And do you actually move into the area of role-based management and that kind of stuff? Is that something you're looking to do?
Yes, absolutely. So, but before going into that, what we actually, the R&D team actually released is, let's say, specific automation for specific based on specific roles and permission in order to let them, so only the authorized person will be.
Excellent listener. So yeah, we're working on this.
Something to say about
Got the pastor. Here we go. So, all right. Well, let's see if this one works better, because then we can take this guy, give it to our guest, and hopefully we can get back on track with how we're operating. Let's do this thing on this computer here. This is exciting television here at CommsverseTV. Nothing but the best. Nothing of yeah, we couldn't test this ahead of time. We didn't have 60, 70 people. It sounded great yesterday when this room was empty, but we're in a corner. If you can tell, we're in a corner, and that's that. So let me, oh, there we go. So let's see. Let's not use that. Let's get this out of the way. All right, I'm gonna fix something better or worse now. Throw that on.
I was also wondering whether holding the little mics.
Yeah, so much background noise. Those things don't can't handle the truth.
Hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I hear stuff in the noise, but I can't hear it. Try it now. Do you hear me?
Nope.
No, you don't hear me. All right, wait, make sure that is working. And looks like Mike. Yeah. Let's see. Yep, that's down. Oh, hold on. I'm not very smart. Let's turn these things on. There you go. Now you'll work.
The light on now.
Yep, there we go. I bet y'all hear you now.
1, 2, 3.
Connected. Keep talking. Keep talking. I will bring you back here in a second. Let's wait and see what happens. This is fun.
Well, there is another choice I might have. You might not like.
Oh, you mean up in the
The very far corner.
we might have to move the
Okay, here, I don't know whether oh, look, we got it. And here we are down to the first fence, to go, and the dog makes it, the dog gets up to the fence, and he reaches to the fence and falls at the first pin.
were you just calling out a horse race?
And I can hear you, but there's about a 5-second delay.
Well, that's a bit. I mean, I did just pause.
I can only hear this little voice that goes, oh, no, that's bad. And it's about 5 seconds delay.
So I'm very quiet.
You are very quiet, yes.
Okay, well.
And when I talk, I hear myself go in the loop.
Yeah, a little bit of loopback. I think that's all I got for headphones with me. You would think I can grab more headphones. But,
I kind of really wish I'd come in my car and brought my own desk. I could have brought the full desk and mics and done a proper handheld mic then.
so you don't have them with you?
No, I left them in Belgium because we said we got all the kit.
Yeah, we do have a lot of kit here.
That's. I think that's where Mark says you've got enough kit to do everything.
Yeah, we have enough kit to do everything, except there's so much noise. We can't noise. That was my one concern when you said with these microphones was the noise canceling.
Yeah, and you're not wrong. Shall we just go and take a head into that room and have a look at it and see whether it makes sense to us?
Go ahead and take it. Go ahead and do that. Who's our next week? Shouldn't we have a guest about now?
I've already. Oh, sorry. I bumped into him on the way. Told him to hold fire. He was talking to Mark. I let Mark know where we're at, and the guy said, "Oh, I'm just around to come and see you."
Well, come grab them, and you can do some R&D.
But how? Because all I can hear is your little voice. I don't know how well I can be heard. How are we going to hear them?
No. You're going to be gone looking at this other room. I'm going to interview the person. Make sure we have power, chairs, everything. So we can
And I'll check with Mark whether we can steal it.
Yeah. The other option is we can move to the speakers lounge, or the speaker lounge. No, that's meant for speakers to have a quiet area to review and prepare for their talks.
Could you use one of those other microphones while I have the headphones on?
No.
But you really do think it's picking up that noise?
It's all the noise, all this lunchtime noise is what is our nemesis.
Yeah, I can hear the knives, the forks.
Yeah, so if you can go look at the other person, I'll interview them. You can check to see where we can move to.
But my question is, if we bring them in, are we going to be able to do a good job for the sponsor? Because
yes, they will wear that headset.
They won't be able to hear you.
Yeah,
not clearly.
You hear me now.
But only really kind of 2 meters behind with a little voice in my head. So if they're trying to have a conversation, they will say, "Hey, can you repeat that again? Can you turn your volume up
We're
anyway?"
having a conversation right now, aren't we?
Yes, we are having a conversation now, but it's not syncopatic.
Bring the person over, please. Check out the other space, and we'll do one shaky interview.
Right,
or do you want to do the interview and I'll walk off?
No. You at the moment, you're key to this. I think your official definition of needing a permanent production is so accurate. Well, it's definitely what to fix.
Yeah.
So I will go find the room and I'll try and get the guy and send him over. All right.
All right. No problem. All right. So you guys have the no behind the scenes whatever. Guest on. I think we all sound good. I haven't seen a comment yet complaining about this audio, and we're going to see if we can get into a different room that gets rid of all of the background noise, or at least most of the background noise. So we can go. Which camera? Oh, I'm using the camera on this with this laptop, so I don't have another camera connected. I can get a better camera connected to this. And it is a little bit weird because we have two laptops. So I speak, it all has to go to StreamYard and back. So there's a little bit of latency to Steve's points, but I think we can work around that. So, this raises a point when designing conference rooms in large spaces, where it's just an open space like what we have here, that you really need to do audio tests ahead of time. We didn't have that opportunity because we were just rolling live. We couldn't bring in this camera. We couldn't bring in 60, 70 people right out of the gate to simulate this. So when you are doing like room systems, and I know you probably couldn't hear our interview, maybe we'll bring them back with Reese from Yamaha. They've got great sound bars, but this is like the worst environment. We're in a corner, bare walls, tile on the floor. There's a little carpeting, but it's just an echo chamber where we are. So everything gets bounced around. See how well my Panacast buds are doing. I think so, because I think these buds are doing okay because Steve was just able to hear me. So he's going to get a guest, and then we will try to move this whole operation to shut down the live stream for 20 minutes. There isn't too much you have to move, but if I can move presents, extra camera, not seeing anything. Hey, how you doing?
How are you?
Have a seat. This is CommsverseTV.
I can hear you a little bit.
There you go. You should hear me now. There will be a weird delay. You hear me okay?
Very quiet though.
I'm very quiet. Yeah, we're trying to move this whole operation to a different space that doesn't have all of this,
No E.
all of this horribleness.
No E.
No E.
No E in my name.
Oh, sorry. It's like if we're trying to do things. Hi, Jason. How you doing?
Yeah, good. The audio quality is really quiet though, Michael. You're really quiet.
Do you need it louder in your earphones? There's a volume button on there. That should increase the volume. I'll talk for a second.
So are you live streaming?
We are live streaming.
Yahoo!
And hello to CommsverseTV. We've had nothing but audio problems. We started with what seems like a good idea, lavalier mics,
Yeah,
but there's no background noise cancellation at all.
got you. So what are we using? What's these?
Well, so
Are
then
these-
we switched to the Jabra Squeak 75, but there's so much
Yeah.
background noise that it can't keep up. Like it
Yeah.
can't handle the truth.
Okay.
And so using Jabra Evolve 2 75 headset, and I'm using the Evolve 2 buds,
Nice.
which are the only
Nice.
things I had available. And probably no one's watching anymore because no one's saying the audio has gotten better or worse.
We'll have to see. How are
Yeah.
things, man? How's the trip over? You been here long?
Yeah, it was. I flew over on Friday, landed on Saturday,
Okay.
and I did that because on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, the price went up like $2,000 in the airfare.
Okay. Yeah, and London's not a bad place to hang out.
No, I went downtown on Sunday, bought some records, hung out with Steve Dalby, my co-host.
Okay.
Monday, then I kind of stayed in the hotel. I've been traveling so much between Toronto, Infocom, Orlando, and here, and
Yeah.
so many steps that my legs just need a rest. So Monday was mostly a day of rest.
That's the perks of being in the 2-meter club.
2-meter club. My legs hurt. They always hurt. So we do have our next guest. You're just popping
Okay.
in. So Jason, tell the world real quick who you are and why you're here.
So I'm checking out the event, checking out the sessions this year. I'm not speaking this year, just taking it easy and taking it all in. Seeing a lot of the sponsors and vendors, much like yourselves, just seeing what's up and coming and seeing where they want to take the next couple of years of unified communications and see how everything's being applied to it. So far, so good.
All right. Well, thanks for coming up.
Cheers, buddy.
Yep.
Enjoy the next
I'll
one.
see you around over the next 2 days. Hey, can
Cheers,
you flip the microphone up? There you go. That mutes you. There's less noise when we drag it around. Thanks. Oops, wrong one. Let's go solo layout this one. Oh, maybe. Check with Jason quickly. He may have left his phone with us. Hey, Andy. 2 L's or 1 L? 2 L's. 2 L's. Okay, let me get your name in. Audio codes have a room? Oh, they asked. Okay. All right, all one word. Got it. There we go. This is what the world sees. Oh. There we go.
There you go. User error.
Now we can hear you. Sorry. Well, no, you didn't. It is a user error because you're not familiar with Jabra headsets.
No, there you
So
go.
we need to work on that in the future. And there's a weird delay,
Yes, I'm noticing that.
but at least I sound relatively clearly once the audio comes through.
Yeah, if you could just turn yourself up in here a little bit, or can I turn you up? There you go, try that.
How about now? Is that louder?
Much better. Yeah.
Much better? Okay. So Hi.
Hi.
Give me real quick. What in like 30 seconds? What's call route?
So Call Route started as an automated voice provisioning portal. So Call Route is a self-service portal that enables you to very quickly integrate your Teams tenant in to enable Teams voice, but then also add your own carrier, link in a third-party PBX, add in a contact center, very quickly create hybrid voice environments. So that's where we started. That's our bread and butter. This week, we're layering on an additional level of automation around auto provisioning. So while we've been out talking to our customers, they've said, okay, well, the voice provisioning is great, but actually it's the user provisioning that we have a challenge with, and that's where the real pain is. So can you do anything about that? So we have, and that's what we're launching this week.
And is that a Commsverse announcement? Is that like if people announce things at InfoComm and ISE? Is this a Commsverse exclusive announcement?
Commsverse exclusive announcement. We put a press release out yesterday announcing that we were launching it at Commsverse. So
well,
yes,
awesome.
This is a new thing. Yeah. so I was really pleased to be doing an interview about it, like
perfect.
On day 2.
So tell me all about the user automation then. What does that all entail?
Okay, so what we've done is given customers the ability to create user personas in the Call Route portal, so the same portal that we use for the voice provisioning. And what that enables them to do is dictate based on location, job role, department, what Teams policies that user will get deployed, what phone number they'll get from what range. So if they're based in Weybridge, we'll give them the next number off the rack in the Weybridge range. It doesn't have to be one of our voice numbers. You don't have to be using our direct routing. It can be an Operator Connect number, a Microsoft Calling Plans number, a third-party direct routing provider's number, the sort of the capacity for manual error, the need for custom scripting around Teams use provisioning, and just trying to provide customers with a consistent build and forget provisioning process, streamline all their processes.
Yeah, there's been a long history going back to really Skype for Business of how do we manage phone numbers. I don't remember who it was. Probably not. I don't want to say names. They wrote a PowerShell script, and I think maybe there's a CSV file with all the phone numbers, and they would do all that. You have taken kind of a community, not that you've taken it. You've basically made a professional version of this kind of one-off tool.
Yeah.
For phone number management provision.
Yeah, and it's a big step for us because we can apply that auto provisioning to non-voice users. So for a business that's always been about voice, we're kind of moving out of just the voice arena and into the Teams arena as a whole, really, when it comes to user provisioning. So it's a big announcement. We're really excited about it, and it's a whole new world for Call Route.
So you mentioned direct routing. You guys are also a carrier?
Well, the Call Route brand came out of a company called SIP Synergy, who spent over a decade doing hosted Cisco voice and being a carrier. So we can be a carrier for our customers using the SIP Synergy brand. But yeah, about 2 years ago, we opened Call Route up to the customer can bring their own carrier. So we are carrier agnostic these days. Yeah.
So a little bit of both. So you support direct routing, Operator Connect, Microsoft Calling, and like direct routing as a service, and
that's right.
All the other little ancillary things.
We do, yeah, and this will grow. So this launch is version 1. Through September and towards the end of the year, we'll be enhancing that auto provisioning to bring in other elements of Teams user configuration. So right now, it's policies and phone numbers, and then we'll gradually layer on the other wonderful elements that you need to worry about when you're provisioning a user in Teams.
And so is this all cloud-based, or am I doing on-prem servers, or
entirely cloud-based?
Yeah, all cloud-based.
Yeah, 100% as a service, no on-site kit required, completely
because
cloud-based.
You're talking Teams, which is in the cloud.
We're talking Teams.
And then you can integrate to my users via AD, Azure AD, other.
So Azure AD, whatever the attributes are for that user, we can pick those up and use them to match to a user persona in Call Route. and do the provisioning from that. So yeah, we're syncing with Azure AD every 15 to 30 minutes. So a new person joins, you know, IT can put a minimum data set in, or the HR system can put a minimum data set in,
Right.
and then we worry about all the rest once it's pulled into Call Route.
You've announced it this week, but I'm sure you've talked to customers and maybe even had beta tested customers. Did you guys sense the pain that your customers had? You decided we can address this, or were there other reasons of why you decided to write this and deliver this product?
It definitely came from customer pain. Yeah. we had a lot of conversations about, you know, oh, that's great. You know, you've sorted out our voice provisioning. You've made that really easy. You know, what about what about all this? Yeah, this is where our real pain is, right? Because, you know, if your MACD process is relying on manual input or relying on custom scripts, you know, when you look at the cost of an error, for example, you know, the human resource cost of an error,
right?
You know, we do away with all that. You know, once you've built it and you've got it into Call Route and we're syncing with Azure AD, you've got 0% error, and you can then maintain and tweak those scripts as you need to, but it's going to work exactly as you ask it to every time.
So we've talked about phone number provision. What about moves, adds, and changes? So I moved from Weybridge back to St. Petersburg, Florida, and now need a United States phone number. Is that there now, or is that some of the magic that's still coming in version?
That's there now. Yeah, there's a persona migration tool built into the portal. So you just say, you know, take this user. You do it per user. So if it was just you, you could do it at the user level. If you had a team that you were using or that you needed to apply some different policies to, you can literally say, take everybody in this user persona and migrate them to this new one, and all of that will change underneath.
So we're good.
Yeah.
My scenario is covered.
Your scenario is what, sorry?
It's covered. I'm good. I can
You're
move
good.
around the globe and get a.
You can move wherever you like. Yeah, and we'll look after it.
So we talked about the user provisioning a bit. What about the the first part, the voice provisioning? What is that beyond? You know, so what are you doing there? So yeah, what's that product?
So yeah, so sort of the core of Call Route is a self-service portal where again we've put automation in the back end. So if you want to move to or migrate to Teams Voice in your organization, you can use Call Route to very quickly, in a couple of clicks, integrate your Teams tenant and fire a SIP trunk down to your legacy PBX, sync all your users into Teams, into Call Route, sorry, from Teams, and then you can allocate those users to have their voice either go to the PBX or go to Teams. So
and that includes a hierarchy. So go PBX first, then direct routing, and then Microsoft calling depending on.
Yeah, so you get in that example, absolutely, you get straight away you get failover routing. So if you've got a user going to Teams, the call's going to Teams first, you can say go to the PBX if Teams isn't there, and you've built some DR in. It's also great for phase migrations. So we work with a lot of companies who, with the large organizations, they've got complex voice platforms. You know, moving to Teams isn't going to be a click of the fingers, right?
No.
So the fact that we can sync with their tenant, bring all their users in, connect to the PBX, and then phase migrate them in blocks using the auto provisioning. Then
Lutastic sounds amazing. That may be for the user provisioning. I haven't been looking at that. That was a minute ago. So
okay, could be either.
People are excited, and instead of call routes, One Media is calling it cool route.
Cool route. Well, we could speak to marketing about that. That could be a rebrand. Yeah.
How's your conference thing? So far, I know we're only like an hour and a half into the real after the keynote part, but
it's been good. We've had some interesting conversations already. I mean, I guess announcing the launch yesterday helped. We've had a lot of people coming saying, you guys, we saw you on LinkedIn. So yeah, it's been driving some traffic to the stand, which is great. And yeah, we've been having some fantastic conversations.
Yeah, I like events like this. I was at CommsverseTV next, and you don't get a lot of tourists. You get a lot of people who already know a certain amount about Teams calling, and they have concerns and like, okay, we're here looking to see if we can find some vendors to help address these concerns. So I
Yeah.
think you get some good high quality conversations that you'll have maybe already and then over the next
Yeah.
day and a half.
No, you do. We do like the show. We did CommsverseTV Next as well, and yeah, they are great events. And you're right. It isn't just about the people that are here to learn as end users or partners. It's also about interacting with the other vendors in the community. We get a lot of value out of that as well.
Anything else we need to know about Colorado?
I think we're good.
That's it.
Good done.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Andy. Best wishes
Thank
on your
you.
show, and good luck with your new product. And you can flip the candle up. Perfect. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Cheers. All right, let's get Steve back in with an update on. Yeah, we're good. Here with an update on getting quiet. It's also lunchtime, so maybe at some point we'll just take a lunch break and then move everything up. So, come here. Yeah, we'll just need one then. I think this last one worked, and no one's complaining about the audio. There you go. Yeah, that works. Adrian Sturdy, get your name updated here.
Stand in front of the cameras and grab my laptop.
Sorry, say that again?
Don't worry. They're pretty good headsets because I couldn't hear a word you said when you were stood there.
Good stuff. All right, let's get out of here. There you go. That's what the world is saying. It's doing these. There we go.
I'm getting a lot of chatter.
But and probably feedback delays. There's gonna be a delay between my voice and what you hear.
Okay.
So we're stuck in like one of the loudest places we could find. So we're trying to figure out. Steve's on the case to see if we can move to a quiet room somewhere. But until then,
Okay.
Audio much better with headset. So we're getting some positive feedback on moving to the headset. So apologies for the slightly weird, and then I'm using earbuds because these are the only two headsets I have. So
Okay.
people probably don't want to put earbuds into their ears that have already been used. So I'll stick with these, and you get the ones that are a little more sanitary. I should probably get a sanitary wipe too and wipe them down.
Yeah.
Do you feel unsanitary? I got.
No, I can work with that. Don't worry about it. No,
Do you
okay.
need one anyway? Have you shook hands?
I'm good. I'm good.
So hi, Adrian. I'm Michael.
Hi, Michael. How you doing?
TV. Tell me about yourself. Where are you from?
So I'm from Code Software. I'm the product director. I've been with the company for 8 months, but I've been in this industry for 25 years. I've just worked out.
Yeah, I've been in IT for 30. Looks like I'm old now. You have no gray. How?
There is some in there. There is some in there.
No, you're still. I mean, I'm all old gray dude now. But like, where are you from? Where's home?
Home is Harrogate in North Yorkshire, so about 250 miles away from where we are today.
Well, that's a commitment to be here.
It was a drive through the storms and the weather, but the cricket kept me sane.
Very good. So, what's Code Software?
So Code has been going about 10 years. We're an analytics and a business intelligence company, and we've been doing analytics and business intelligence around the Microsoft product set for since Microsoft Link through Skype for Business and into Teams.
And keep going.
So over the years, we've been doing the things like the meeting analytics, the SIP trunk, range management, and we have voice recording module as well. So we cover a really big spectrum of the Microsoft experience and the estate, from the device right through to the provided Teams service.
And you've been doing this since the Link days.
Oh, since the Link days. Personally, I've been doing it since LCS in 2003. Yeah, heady days of dialogic gateways integration and Genesis gets as well. I think we had to use back those days.
My first enterprise voice was dialogic with the cards. Like it was a PCI board you slid in into server and off you went. We thought it was awesome. Connected it to the PPX using oh crap, what are those lines called? Trunk lines, but there's a different trunk there. Anyway, so you have a history of on-prem, right? You had to with Lincoln State.
Yeah.
Are the new versions of the software for Teams all cloud-based, or do you do a balance of both, or how's that work?
So our biggest interest at the moment is around our license adoption module, and for our license adoption module, we've had to build out a new code base and a new code hosted platform. Sorry, I'm getting feedback. And so we've been listening to our customers, and we listen to our customers all the time. And so they've been asking for what are licenses we're buying, what are our users doing with those licenses? Are they using the workloads? Are they using the storage? Are they using the OneDrive? Are they on the right licensing type? So we essentially have built out a whole suite of modules, really easy to configure, really easy to use. So you're never more than 3 clicks away from the answer that you want to get to. And it's just intuitive to use. So you drag and drop the dashboards, you select your settings, and away you go. You've got the answers to what you need to consume on that dashboard in front of you.
So maybe it's both. Are customers more interested to see if they're overbuying, like we have E5s and should be using E3s, or is it we've bought E3s or E5s? How much are we using? Like, what more can we get value out of the licenses we have? So is it both, or are most people trying to save money? Or
it's a 50-50 split. You have some people who said, look, we committed to Microsoft and we bought all these licenses. We want to know if we're getting a great ROI out of them. But you also have the people who say, well, I want to drive up my adoption, and I want to know the people who aren't using those. So can you identify them? Because they may be people that need a different approach to the online training. They need a white glove service. They might be 55-year-old men who don't want to go into a web.
Be careful with that 55. I'm 52, so I'm still young enough.
I'm getting there myself, but they need those business insights and those analytics. I'm getting really bad feedback. Sorry. So they need those analytics to look at the demographics of those people to see if they need to take a different approach, because they want those people to be able to use the productivity suite and actually benefit from it, but they definitely need a different approach. So the way in which we're looking at those analytics and the Teams usage and the chat usage, and whether they're making telephone calls or they're using audio conferencing, all of those things brought together really give those business insights that allow the company or the business or the MSP partner to provide those training and adoption services to actually go out and drive those ROIs for the businesses.
And so there's probably 2 answers based on what they're looking for. Are you finding people are saving money because they're like, hey, we bought all these E5s, we're basically not using it, let's roll back, go down to 3s. And then there's the other side, it's like, wow, we never exploited OneDrive. And now
the things that we see the most is when you go into some customers, they put their hands up and say, we have no idea what licenses we've got and how we're using them. Or you go into other people and they say, we've got a really good licensing position, but we want that further business intelligence to help us get better. So they've got a 95 percentile utilization and they want to drive it up to 95. So we really have lots of use cases depending on the type of customer we go into. And those customers range from like SMB to mid-market right up to the biggest 200,000 seat enterprise organizations.
Yeah, I could see in an enterprise environment that would be, there's a lot of, depending on how centralized they are, there's multiple IT departments in each country or each office, and they're buying stuff that conflicts with other people, and then it's like, okay, what do we have? And then
so in the
why did this department buy 1,000 E5s when they have 500 employees? Can we move those over here? So
yeah,
that
all of those analytics. And also, we have the really big organizations that want to only allow certain groups of users to see certain license analytics in that division or in that site code or in that cost code. So we built in the security layers within the platform for them to be able to do that, which they can't do with Power BI or other
Right.
things. So those analytics and that ability to just allow people to see what they're allowed to see is a really big driver for people.
Now, is this data gathered automatically, like via graph, or do we have to sit in and kind of type in the POs we've done?
Yeah, it's Graph API. So we talk in a read-only manner into the customer's tenant. We pull out the data, we run the analytics, and we do different data is refreshed by Microsoft at different times. So we have to run different services
Right.
constantly. So yeah, we get real-time data, which is sort of like call queues and auto attendance and all the things that we've done and we do really well historically. But then other data, it's a 24-hour update from Microsoft based on user behavior and things like that.
All right. We've talked a good bit about license management. What are some of the other things code does extremely well? What are things kind of you're proud of? Which modules and it can be Skype for Business call recording.
Yeah,
we can go old school.
So the voice recorder is a really big thing for us because we sit at that entry to mid-market level of the voice recording where people just want it for training and monitoring. They want it for dispute resolution. They don't want to go to the big old boys who cost hundreds of dollars a seat.
Right.
We really fit into that entry level area. But essentially what code is known for is all of that analytics around the calls, the reporting, the SIP trunks, the range management, and just that's our biggest area of the business.
Do you get into like call quality analytics and things like that, or is it more usage based and less?
More usage based, but what we are being asked for by people to look at is can we do predictive analytics? So we're like everybody looking at how we can use the tools available. We've got a great data set because we capture so much from Graph API, but it's providing the access the customer wants to that data. And because we've got these really easy to use dashboards that are so configurable for what you want to see, whether or not a chat interaction with something is what people want, we're just but we've got a great product council that we talk to and we bounce ideas off them and they come to us, and that's what drives a lot of our product roadmap is what the customers tell us, and we're really easy to do business with from a customer point of view. That's what we get told. That's probably our biggest USP. So yeah, that's great for us.
Anything else you want to tell us about code, or by yourself, or
well,
what are you releasing next? Go ahead and give us an announcement. What are you releasing next?
So our call queues and auto attendant module within our new cloud hosted platform. And then we've got the voice modules and the Teams analytics modules coming out in the next 2 to 3 months.
So you guys have your own call queue and auto attendant solution. So if the built-in Teams one just isn't cutting it, we can turn to you guys.
The customers, Microsoft always do the 80-20 rule, and we are that 20% that takes it to the next level. And we've always done call management and queue management and being able to record a greeting and play it straight into a queue. Microsoft are bringing things out, but customers always want a single management that does the end-to-end from the SIP trunks to the endpoint and a good user interface, not 4 or 5 different things that you have to go into and dig down into the detail. So,
all right. Anything else?
I think that's it from me. Thank you very much for your time.
Yep. Thank you very much. I'll move it to me, and you can flip the stick and into the headset. There we go. Yeah. So when you said you were getting feedback, you mean it's just like the delay?
That's in chatter. I can hear that's noise.
Yeah.
That's not noise cancelling.
The ANC may be turned off, so it is noise canceling.
Just hearing chatter.
You know, the fun that happens when you're completely changing your complete audio setup in the middle of the drive. Is it your time? Is it your time to talk? Do you want it to be your time?
Still waiting to find out whether we can have the room, and I have
There you go. Let's get the update.
Oh, I can hear lots of noise. A very, very active Commsverse. And
Is it
yes,
so
I'm getting the
the
echo.
ANC turn off again? There should be a button right here.
Oh, I didn't realize you were a doctor.
That's a ANC.
I can manage it, but it is a delay.
All right.
I think our guests
The
will
delay,
struggle a
yes.
bit.
Yeah, the delay is real, but hopefully, if the ANC got turned on, you're not hearing as much background chatter.
No, I agree. But it looked like you had 2 great interviews.
Yeah, they're very good people. Good to learn. What button am I pushing? Hey, we're both in with you right now. So we're still working on getting a new room.
Yeah, we're trying to move away from all the noise. We'll see where we go with it. As we were saying, from Mark's perspective, we live and learn. As much as we try to cover all of the things that we need to try and cover, it's not always easy to do. It's photo time. There we go.
Yeah.
I can ruin any photograph. It's very easy for me to ruin any photograph. But that's cool. So what was the code people talking about?
So Code has a lot of calling type of solutions. Everything from they write their own auto attendant in call queue. So if the Microsoft built-in auto attendant call queue just isn't cutting it, like there's no barge in. So if you're the manager, you want to barge in and listen on it in a call queue type of thing. They have their own solution for that. They have, and I'm trying because they were both voice people back to back, so I'm trying to keep these in line. How quickly I forget. I was let's see, Blink. They do call recording. They do. The big thing was tracking licenses.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, everybody's doing that at the moment.
Yeah, so you got your company bought.
I have
10,000
a
licenses.
customer. I have one of my main customers. In fact, I spend the most time working there at the moment. Hi guys, if you're watching. We often find we suddenly do an assessment of our licenses and we've paid 20 grand for the last month on licenses that are not being used anymore.
Right.
So it is an easy market to try and get fixed, which adds the value. But it's one of those things you think I should be able to do this better myself. But in reality, if there's a tool to help you do it. So I saw 1 or 2 people doing the same thing. So it's quite cool.
Yeah, because I asked them, like, are more people interested in saving money by removing or with
Getting
hey,
value.
we're paying for E5s, we're not using it, or is it we bought E5s, are we using it? Like how do we get our are we using it? And then they can say, look, you're not using these features well enough. Let's help you get the full value because you're committed to E5. Maybe you wanted enterprise voice, right? So you wanted the E5 for voice. And then what was all the, like, are we using all this other, is any division using all the other stuff you get?
Exactly.
And then their tool can say no. So maybe, the Viva, the E5 Viva stuff, I assume there's some E5 Viva stuff. I don't have an E5 list of features in front of me. So all the other E5 stuff, let's take advantage because we're paying for it. It's free to use.
I agree. I think a lot of organizations go, we're going to E3, they sign off the bill, and then they hand it over to their IT department, and then we think technically. We don't think about that bit in the middle where we're trying to make sure it gets the value. And we also don't think about whether it's all being used. And also, let's not underestimate that you could buy 10 applications in your license. You've then got to roll it out and get the adoption working. And that takes time. And so you often need a strategy towards working that way and where that fans out. So it's true. And I think it's very easy to go, I'm paying E3 and I'm happy, but without really worrying about it anymore. But Microsoft's new strategy, and I'm not dissing any of this, I think it's a great feature.
Right.
So let me take MS Teams Professional or Premium or whatever they call it this week. It's an extra tenner a month, but you can give it to individual people. So I would never say, hey, I've got 500 people, let's order 10 euros a month
premium. But you need to be able to understand whether they're using it. If you're giving somebody €10 a month for premium, are they using the features? Are they getting value
Right.
out of those features? And there's some great tools in Viva. So there's Viva Pulse, which actually allows you to kind of ask people what they're doing. And we need to start asking them, are you finding this feature useful? Is it adding value to you as an individual? It's not about whether it adds value to the company anymore. It's whether it adds value to the individual. So understanding that, we're all good to go. We got a thumbs up from the main man here, so we can move into the other room. Wow, that
All right.
was cool. We'll
So
do
here's
that. Thank you. Whenever we
here's
want.
what we'll do.
Do we do it now or do we do
Oh,
it
we
later?
do it now, and it's also lunchtime.
Yeah, so let's
So
go
I
do
need
that.
to grab a. Let's see. Oh,
So we're going to take about an hour out. We're going to collect all of our kit up and we're going to move it to a place that's a little quieter, which will allow us to make better use of the microphones and equipment. We're going to the Sterling Moss room, guys. I love this room. You probably worked out I'm a bit of a motorhead. So being here at the Mercedes place,
yeah, you
it
were
is
really
very, very
bummed
cool.
the other night that you couldn't catch the Canadian Grand Prix.
Yeah, it's good. I highly recommend coming here. If you are a guy that likes cars or you like to drive, come with £100 in your hand. I don't know what it is now, but it's about 110 quid or whatever, and get yourself half an hour in some of the Mercedes cars, and drive around the skid pad, drive around the circuit, frighten yourself silly when they say, no, these brakes are really good. You don't need to brake yet. You don't need to brake yet. You don't need to brake yet. Brake now! Brake now!
And they scream at you like, ah! And then you brake too hard, and then you spin it.
But if you're, it's the only chance you're ever going to get of driving these things, these AMG cars fast. It is a pretty cool place. All right, so I'll stop talking petrol head, and we're going to take a break, and we'll be back later.
Oh, and I just found the loop button, so I can loop the CommsverseTV thing for about a half hour, so people don't just show up with a black screen. So we'll be back in roughly a half hour. Those of you following, for those in GMT +1 time zone.
That is true. All right,
go
guys.
Grab I'm trying to speak British. Go grab a biscuit and what do you eat for lunch? A fish and a chip.
A fish and a chip, yes.
A fish and a chip. And
it's better than the other way around. One chip and a bag of fish, please. Yeah.
Well, it depends. All right, we'll be back in about a half hour. Bye, everyone.
Bye.